everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and happy Sunday, September 25th of 2022, the last Sunday in September. We only have one more quarter of this year, and it seems like it's been a ride to remember for sure. So last Sunday, I talked in one little quick segment about my perception of two different timelines that were happening. And while there were a couple of comments in the comment section underneath the video, I got a surprising number of emails from people who were feeling the same thing and were noticing the same thing. And it was not just feeling it or noticing it, but it was blatantly obvious to them, as I feel like that is to me. So I just have been thinking about this all week long. And as I was writing down my thoughts and having my meditative moments where I was sitting outside and just enjoying nature, which is just the best part of really being with myself and thinking my deep thoughts, right? Um, I had some really good thoughts about this, and it kind of was in two things. First is so I kind of thought there is a tale of two timelines happening. And if this sounds something that's kind of crazy to you or otherworldly to you or whatever, you're welcome to stop watching right now and just say, okay, this topic is weird, and you can go ahead and think there's something different happening than just pure reality, right? So I think that this is what I've come to because uh, I feel like the way I was raised with my parents, especially my dad and his side of the family, they were very much into freedom, the Constitution. I mean, we were raised uh, religious and God-fearing, not God-fearing, but we were raised with spirituality and family and just that this was just the way that I was raised. And we always had this awareness and maybe this skepticism of the system. And this was just my dad mostly. My mom, of course, was right on board. And we went through periods of time while I was growing up and some of my siblings were growing up where my mom would homeschool. And then because there were just the sheer volume of us, she needed a break and we would, we would go back to school. But, there was always this little bit of mistrust of the system, which, was a huge foundation. So as I've gone through my life as an adult, you look at the system really for what it is without rose-colored glasses. And not just that, you look at it as um, maybe it can serve me in this way and I need to be able to function in society so I can take a part of it. I can be, I need to be a part of it so that I can function. And then you kind of go, okay, well, I'm going to opt out of this piece of it. So this has just been always a part of the journey that I've been on since I was a child and being raised this way. So I've always just kind of had that thought process. So when this whole, pandemic showed up, I was like, wait a minute. It felt completely off to me. And as we've walked through this last 2.5 years, I definitely see that it feels like there's a not, I'm hoping that we're coming together as humanity, but there seems like a split in what we're simply aware of, what people are aware of on both sides. So I wrote down some thoughts that I think are really important. So the first one is this: if you are aware, and I almost hate to use the word awake because I don't want to have a negative connotation to people who perceive the world differently than mine. But I'm going to say it just because of the context of it. But if you are awake and aware, look at what you have. Because to me, being aware is the biggest gift. Because this is why. Think about what you know. And to me, that alone is worth any price. I would a lot rather be aware of what's happening than following a narrative that I don't know is a narrative. To me, the awareness is a gift alone. So can you look at everything that we're experiencing through the lens of gratitude? That was a big question that I wrote down here. It's like, okay, it's easy to get caught in fear on the other side of the equation of, well, what if other people don't see it the way I see it, or maybe they aren't aware that maybe there's parts of this system that we thought was there to serve us are really not. And what if this group of people, at least they don't see it and they don't ever take the steps to go, oh, well, maybe we need to question this. So it doesn't serve us to be in fear and anger and frustration at what's happening on that level. So can you look at everything that's happening from a lens of gratitude? Once you've gone through the true awakening process, so there are some things that you know for sure. Number one, you are no longer afraid of anything. Living, dying, world events, etc. You realize that we are endless souls and consciousness, that we are bigger than that. And we become no longer afraid of anything. I've talked about this before in other videos where I think the biggest thing is we're afraid of the death moment. We're afraid of the pain of the death moment, the uncertainty of the death moment. Or, none of us know when it's our time to go, and we don't know, none of us want to suffer. But the thing is when you can be truly in a place of awareness of the endlessness of your soul and your consciousness, you're really able to start living and not worry about what's going on in the world. And I'm not saying don't take action, don't don't do the things that help you be healthy, help you take care of your finances, pay attention to your family, take the steps that let you have this vibrant, amazing experience while you're being a human being. I'm not saying don't take action. I'm just saying don't be afraid to live. Because to me, that's what awareness and awakening and true spirituality is really all about. Another benefit of the true awakening process is you can take action in the things that excite you. Think about people who are putting things off until things get better. And when inflation goes down, or the recession we're in, or when things get better, when my kids are grown, when we put things off until we wait until. And to me, if you're able to take action on things that excite you right away, like don't wait, don't put things off. To me, that's what a beautiful gift. Another sign of the awakening process is you have zero reason to judge others. If others judge you, you are non-pulsed by it. Like, this really struck me because I think that it's easy, and it's been easy these last couple of years especially, to really seriously judge people. And this is on all spectrums of all worldviews, no matter where you see the world, because we need to realize that other people, every other person has their own journey. And it's not supposed to match yours. Yours is unique. Yours is beautiful. Now, that's not saying you're not going to find like-minded souls and a community of people who are in your tribe and you can have these deep connections with. And I have people that I can sit down with, and it's like the immediate moment I'm in their presence, I'm like, oh my goodness, this person is, I knew you in another lifetime. And immediately you feel the love. So there's not saying that piece is not important, but what happens is you lose all reason for judgment if you are truly an awakened and aware person. And then the final one I wrote down here is you are fully ready to live and breathe your purpose and passion. You're just ready. You don't have to get permission from anybody. You don't have to, like I said, wait until the right moment. You're fully ready just to start living and live in that place of non-judgment and pure love. So then what I thought about as I was thinking about this whole tale of two timelines, where you can literally see that people are walking toward maybe a different future, or just a different future for themselves, is this. I wrote down a list of 6 things that are signs that you are on an awakening journey or path. And this one is really, it helps you realize that if this has been a big awakening for you, that you are very, very normal. Okay, so number 1 is at first it's painful. It's like a birth, right? It's like, for me, I will tell you, there were times during 2020 when I couldn't believe that other people could not see what was happening. at least on the level that I felt I could see it. And I'm not discounting anyone else's perception. So please know that. But there were times, honestly, when in the middle of the summer of 2020, when I couldn't believe that we were still in such a fear-based place about this virus. Um, my own perception, please know that. I don't mean to trigger anybody with that. But the world literally looked purple to me. I was just like, it's so blatantly obvious. So when you first have this journey, and you realize there are things and systems and programs that you trusted, and you realize that they're maybe corrupt, maybe they're not out for the better good, and you start to have these realizations, it is painful. So the world looks and feels upside down, and as you watch others walk through their day and their life as if nothing is wrong. It feels utterly surreal. So if any of those emotions resonate with you, then that might be something you recognize in maybe a path that you've been on these last couple of years. Number two is you realize that most of the things you were taught are simply not true. You're a little or a lot amazed at how you didn't see it before. To me, this is a beautiful part of it. And I really do believe that, and I say this all the time, the rise in consciousness, the rise of the human spirit and potential is on the rise. So big and beautiful. Number three, you realize you've lived most of your life asleep and out of touch with who you really are. And this is at whatever level that you feel like maybe that happened, or just situations, different things that way you were raised, maybe cultural, maybe religious, possibly, maybe political, maybe educational, just things that just were so routine because that was part of your upbringing. It was part of your culture, like I said. Um, it's really an interesting thing when you just kind of realize, excuse me, frog in my throat, it's kind of early. So number four, you begin to have a deep inner knowing of your own potential for abundance, love, creativity, and joy. That says it all, right? Number five, you see through the lies of the system that keeps you stuck in poor health, debt, unenlightenment, and the collective human misery. I mean, the systems that are set up are not set up for us to thrive. We are designed for unconditional love and abundance for everyone. The suffering that happens in this world does not have to happen. And we all know that at a core level. We work really hard donating to charities and volunteering and everything that we do, we know that there is enough for everyone. And that piece of empowerment doesn't serve the powers that be that keep us stuck. And you realize that. You realize that on a huge epiphany type of level. Okay, and then number six, you begin to see the utter brilliance of who you really are. A child of God, a being of light and love. And when you realize that to the deepest part of your soul, the world is your oyster. It's open to you in whatever you want to accomplish, whatever you want to express, the creativity you want to bring out. You realize the utter beautiful brilliance of you, how you're designed, and the fact that we are here for learning and growing and love and joy and happiness and connection, and to enjoy the beauty of experiencing all the senses that we've been given, to see the mountains and see, you know, birds and waters, and to taste delicious food and drink a glass of delicious wine, and cook a meal with your grandma and enjoy the fruits of that. I mean, this is why we're here. And I think the more and more of us that realize the true brilliant potential that we have, um, the the timelines actually start to merge into what we all know is possible. And from my opinion, to me, it's not a matter of, like I said last week, oh, I hope, I hope. To me, this is a matter of, this is where we're going. I have this deep fire that feels, I know for a fact that this is where we're going. And to like I said, a birthing process. A lot of these things that have been keeping us stuck have finally been exposed on the level that they are. And people are like, if anything, it's kind of like, wait a minute, wait a minute. And that's a first good place to be. So I hope this came together with some clear message that I wanted to bring to you. This was like a really fun topic for me to sit and think about because I feel that the potential that we each have is just being tapped. It's just pricking the surface of what is out there. And there's sometimes I will tell you I wish I was a little bit younger because I don't think it's going to be a fast process. I do think we still have some time and a little bit of growing pains to go through as the awakening process continues. Um, and I don't think that it's going to be super long, but I think it's going to be, be prepared, stay aware, start, here's solutions, start a community garden, get to know your neighbors, become self-sufficient in not just your food needs, but maybe your energy needs. I think we've lost the ability to barter. If you have the opportunity to bring that back a little bit, find ways to do that, and it's going to bring us closer as a collective, and then it's us taking back our power, because that's really where it all comes to. So I hope that you have an amazingly beautiful day. If you can relate to any of this on any level, give me a comment. I'd love to hear, have you been on this journey as long as I have? I was always proud of the history that I grew up with. One of my dad's brothers, I grew up in Idaho, and one of my dad's brothers was an Idaho State senator. And I remember as a teenager, actually I think I was maybe a little bit younger, maybe grade school, we would go out and campaign for him. Like we'd would flyer, we'd go door to door, we'd put them on car windows. And it was just kind of a piece of, being a part of the process and talking about, we wouldn't just talk about the Constitution, we would read the scriptures, and, it was God and family and spirituality and helping keep the family connected and together and making it a cohesive unit. I mean, this was, I think that those things need to really come back and be the glue of what helps make a beautiful backbone of humanity, what makes us living, breathing humans that love each other and know that deep connection. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I think this is a very cool topic. The thought of a tale of two timelines and signs that you might be having an awakening. So give this video a thumbs up if you feel so inclined, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you have a brilliant, beautiful last Sunday in September. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.